Probably at 8:35.
I think it can clock too. I always think that over against the morning.
That gets pretty close on.
Yeah, today it's only 2 months old.
What do you have for us?
Well, we began to hear yesterday about part of the CARES Act that was allocated to the state of Kansas that they in turn are allocating to local units of government. It is,
Spark.
yeah, total of, there's 3 rounds of funding. First round is $400 million that is being allocated to counties. Most of it based on an allocation of how many citizens are in the county. So based on that formula,
At $194 a person.
right, should be a little over $800,000 to.
I don't know if we have the same numbers on ours. 194.
Yes,
All right.
350 million
Statewide.
statewide, so
And half of that will come to us in the form of cash, and the other half has, if you will have to apply for it by reimbursement analysis.
So we'd have to spend the money and once we get reimbursed.
Yeah, but, I mean, first of all, there'll be a resolution, and the second resolution will come out later this week about again for it to be, and to be eligible for any of this, the resolution has to be passed, so we should have that.
So, yeah, criteria are health, infrastructure, education, and economic development.
So, most of this can be distributed, you know, the county, we will get it, and then we can distribute it out to the cities. I don't know about schools or not,
Schools are
but, and
eligible.
possible, yeah, but that all depends on these guys. I don't think they've got any, so much, I have no idea what they want. It all has to be tied to COVID, but, I mean, it's so loosely tied on some of this stuff, and see, this is trouble. There are more questions to this right now than there are answers because they're flying by the seat of their pants, honestly.
They are, yeah.
And so, it says an application has to be submitted to the state. Well, there's no application form.
There isn't. I find it hard. I think they're just there's pieces of this legislation that have just shown up, like when they did the GIDL program. You just put the deposit in your account, and they didn't necessarily.
This is all coming from the federal government. It's like sometimes we end up on some of our projects for road and stuff. All of a sudden, the state has its name. And so you have to really put things in line here.
So are you saying we need to apply
This
for
is a
this?
lot.
I don't think we, no, not that
So
part. We don't
hopefully
have to
have-
apply for it. In round 1,
Because this is basic.
okay, maybe I should.
Like I said, there are still more questions. I talked to the gal yesterday, and there are more questions than there are answers right now.
We're just talking $80,000.
800.
No, 800,000, which initial distribution to us would be
It has to be used for
425,000.
COVID. It cannot go into the county general.
No, it cannot
can.
be subsidized, no, it cannot be used to subside here, or they will come and get it back.
Yes.
So
That's what
basically,
we've
You have
got
to,
be
you have
very
to prove where it
careful of.
went.
You get this windfall, we can't just willy-nilly spend it on stuff.
Yeah.
So I
But the
mean,
county would have more issues.
it's like you're decreasing your sales tax revenue because less people are shopping because of COVID. If you had a deep downturn in property values,
This is, I think
Yeah.
you're exact, okay, so my angle, after sleeping on it tonight, on some, okay, so there's 3 rounds of funding.
The next
One
round
is-
is in August.
One is coming to the counties directly, so, which one would be the?
Just see, they started.
Okay, so right here. First round comes to local governments, it's 400 million total, 300,000, or 300 million of which is based on that 194 per person in your population. So you get, and then 50 million they call impact funding, but we don't have, they want it basically if you've got an unemployment rate of higher than 11%, we're not gonna get any of the 50 million, I don't think. there's no way. So we'll get an allocation of 810,000 basically that has to be used prior to round 3, because if you don't allocate it, by the time they start round 3, you have to give it back. And they'll put it into the round 3 fund.
When it starts October,
And that is an
it has to be
October.
done by October.
But like the hospital would probably qualify for that.
Some
right?
of them, there's so much money out there for hospital right now, they really have some help.
But I mean, if-
They can do lots of things, right? They
If
really
we,
can.
if we can a guy, I mean, I think they have plenty of money, but I mean, can you cut them down, if we got an extra 250,000 or 247,000, can you cut their budget down 247,000 and then subsidize it with this?
I would think that would be a reach, I mean, but there,
That's why I
right
asked.
now, they're already,
Yeah.
the parameters are on this are so loose, and they are so undefined,
Yeah.
that it was like, you
Okay.
make sure you stay within the parameters, so you don't end up having to fork it back to them, because they will come and get it.
Okay.
Why couldn't cities, counties, all
Well-
for reduce sales tax revenue over those 2 months?
And maybe it can, I mean, it's not saying it can't.
What I like.
The parameters are so loose, and they have defined none of them, and that's the problem.
Looking at rounds 2 and 3, that's where I think they'll get more into the stuff that is, that they're saying is more the investment kind of stuff. Potential investment areas, and broadband, childcare, housing,
Right.
workforce development, stuff like that. And they're encouraging private partnerships. I think the angle I would try
Because
on
schools,
the idea of trying to invest
Add on
it in
classrooms.
infrastructure is exactly tied to your, if we
So
show
if we
that
apply for
during the
some of
COVID
this,
period, our tax
because the
base,
oil
our property
price
tax
got
base
that
tank,
because
especially
of
related to
COVID,
oil,
that's
which
pretty
could also
good.
tie to the idea of demand,
Yeah.
keeping on the environment, that we need to, make the kind of investment that will build your property tax base back up. And if we were to do this in a short period of time, I think the angle I would take is to try to get those letters of intent from a painting company, possibly a
That's
warehouse.
what we're gonna have to be
And
careful.
if I could show, okay, if we build the loop track using some
We're
of the,
gonna have that
they're gonna
covered
have
on that
another,
other deal.
those aren't gonna be allocated to counties equally. That will be on an application basis, is my understanding. Where I'm getting the information is I listened in yesterday on it was a finance council meeting, so they must do joint committees. You would know this maybe more than, it
They-
felt like
they
a
have to-
joint
they had to
committee of
approve
the
all of
Kansas
this.
legislature. They were passing by vote the authorization of it, but it was a joint, it had both senators and representatives on it. It was called the Finance
Oh,
Council,
definitely,
Legislative Finance Council, there you go.
yeah, right.
Okay, so I listened in on their hearing yesterday, and it pretty much followed this. You guys have a version that looks like it's maybe a more recent date, but I think we're looking at pretty much the same thing. But I think it'll be in rounds 2 and 3 that they get even more into the things that we would be able to make an argument for investment. And I think tying it to property tax base and the crisis that,
Well,
local
sales tax,
government is,
That's easy to measure.
Well, it is, but you're gonna.
is our
okay,
sales
you're
tax
gonna have-
down that much?
You're gonna have everybody in
You know
this,
what it is?
you're gonna have everybody in the same
Even over
boat.
those 2 months? Not very
I
good.
think that there's been more local shopping, and people on other
Maybe.
places.
I think. I just thought with all the people staying home, they weren't spending too much.
But this is something that's gonna be on your plate for a little while. I mean, but the first thing that we have to do to even become eligible is when I get that resolution.
That'll be next week.
Yes, I was, we either get the sample resolution at the end of this week or the first of next week. So, like I said, if this is all flying by the seat of their pants, because this is all new to them too. And that's why this came out yesterday and then before
I
they
didn't get
could really.
that. Could you try again?
No, you can't.
A lot clearer.
I didn't get that.
It's, she's not supposed to talk. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not,
But that's
you
why,
cannot use it for costs accounted for in the budget. And you have to incur the costs this calendar year,
but it is,
or between March 1 and the
it's time to get creative and think outside the box.
Yeah.
Right, when you mentioned
So, I
broadband,
mean,
that'd be nice.
it's
Because there's a lot of places
part of the
that
stuff, and we're, like, you know,
Yeah.
Out of luck.
this is something where you can
So
have.
where I even found out about this yesterday was the,
So do we need to talk to like the EMS and Marshall and have them kind of work with you? You'll talk to them?
They need to have some stuff in the pipe, you know, whether it's pipe cream or what, I mean, at least it's something for thinking, ready to go.
Yeah, and you'll talk to them about that?
Because a lot of times if it's ready to go,
Needs
it's
it.
first come, first served.
That's what I have.
Especially because the state has to have this one
I take
going, because of
There's a lot of dead zones in this county.
So this is,
And actually, it's
so,
worse when
since
I,
it's gave it to the state,
We
the
were home
state has
Saturday
to
and
go
I kept
through
having to go
it to
outside.
us.
all
But the state has to decide how.
that guy that's
That's why
Kyle's
they told
homie
me
lives
about
over there,
it.
around Garfield, he can't talk to them. Unless he's at work.
so,
And Joanne's, maybe 2 bars. Bryce said he was down at the pipe yard, Austinson had no bars, and that's a quarter mile south of Highway 50.
Yeah, between, Stafford, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's getting bad in places that haven't been bad before.
Normally, I had to
understand
go about
that.
3 miles
Well, they're going
east
to
of Stafford
5G.
Fords too. Both the east and west sides of the county are not good.
So,
To watch movies.
but I mean, like your broadband, I would think this would be a good time for GDTA to jump in and get some other stuff. I mean, they're moving as fast as they can with their fiber to, or with their fiber optic to houses and whatnot. I know they've done that in some towns, but I'm sure they have plans for it, but they're actually a residential bunch.
yeah, they are.
Golden Belt?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really are, I mean, they do a good job. But,
They've tried.
yeah.
Would
They're
food banks
full up
fall
there.
under this category?
Food banks should be able to.
Because they have, the two that I know, Stafford and St. John, have had a major hit on that.
That would be a very eligible use in round 1.
I would have think they're used for
Oh, it is.
expedition.
I think if you want to make a donation to those nonprofits in round 1, to like the ministerial alliance, the food bank, or whatever, I think that would be, from my understanding of things, a very eligible use.
You know, talking sales tax, I talked to several restaurant owners who said they were down like 40%.
Right, that might be an exception.
I mean, that, they definitely were paying sales tax pretty good. Sales tax.
Yeah. And I think 40% is low, because the ones I talked to, they're saying they're 67%.
Yeah, 50, 60.
Yeah.
That's the area. But why this comes under emergency management, it's the recovery part of this. Even though we're not done with recovery, it's part of the whole circle of the incident. And the last thing is recovery.
I think they also don't have very good database of who their economic development people are.
No, they probably
I
don't.
think they know who the
But-
emergency management person is.
Oh,
Yeah.
existed, but that's life.
But
Because,
yeah,
yeah, when you start
second
talking
round,
about this yesterday,
strategic
see-
investments to revitalize our economy in the short and long term. I think that's where we start getting, like persuasive on the kinds of investments that will have a much more long-term impact.
Now, to go along with sales tax, probably the one that got hit the most was fuel tax.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
So some of our
Yeah.
revenues will be down on that.
I know the convenience stores got it all. Selling gas, knickknacks.
Oh, yeah, you can see the traffic, as soon as this thing turned, you can see the traffic.
The saving grace's margins are good right now in
Oh, yeah.
fuel merchandising. I'm not saying that
They're
makes
trying to make it affordable.
oil prices.
Yeah,
Oil prices have gone back down.
Going up a nickel every day.
If they were
Margins
to
on
fly,
that are better than they were.
flying planes like they The air travel goes back up, that'll definitely help as well. And I think airlines are huge user.
But yet, at the same time, they're still talking about there's 25 states you probably have on travel.
Yeah.
Because as soon as this thing opened up, some of them, we had some counties still going down.
Well, they had an outbreak at Frontenac, a bacon processing plant, but they said most of the employees lived over in Missouri.
And you go to a third Frontenac?
Right.
Oh, Frontenac, okay, I was thinking Philadelphia. I thought, why are they driving to Frontenac?
No, there's no bacon in Missouri.
No, okay.
What is it about processing?
Well,
They're-
it's
they're
the
There's
proximity.
probably worked on.
I mean, you're
yeah.
elbow to elbow.
It's the proximity.
That nurse.
Actually, Fulton County's finally flattened out.
How many people are
But
left that have
Reno
that?
County's had a spike for some reason.
Maybe.
No, she has not had it.
You're sure? of that?
Yes.
It should stay away.
Yep.
from everybody? No,
Yep.
that's good. That they would, yeah, it's insane.
So we're eligible for $800,000, you just have to justify it.
Right.
So they'll deposit 400,000 in their account and then we need to find a way to spend it. That's, we don't have to.
It has to, and what it's saying is, okay, we will take this money and we will also distribute it out. We're not gonna hold all of it. We're going to, give some to the cities, to the hospitals. And I'm not sure how that works with the school districts, because the school districts overlap counties. Because basically a lot of Maxville's district is not even in Stafford County.
St. John's the only district that's contained
Stafford's even goes
into Pratt.
Oh, is it really?
So there's-
Going to Reno, though.
And see, or Skyline.
See,
that
and
opened,
Ellen,
Fairfield,
Great Bend,
Yeah.
Skyline.
So does every student
Might
have
check
a
and see whether
computer?
that would fly or not.
I don't know, and the trouble with it, some of, what you might think of, we'll say, okay, we can give you this, they may have already done, maybe, like I said, the longer this goes on, the more money gets thrown at it, the harder it is. to-
Well, some of the things I've seen, that all students don't have computers.
Leading
Yeah.
a studio class,
And
building the house.
Some households don't have
We're
internet.
still doing it.
Yeah,
We'll have
and
to
that's the
course
trouble.
this summer.
That's why I think a big push is broadband.
Yeah.
For like, okay, telemedicine is one of the things they were talking about, which is
So it
which
was
would be a
impacted
good
by
thing,
COVID.
to
There might
get
be, a-
broadband in
anyway, he's saying that
The
they're
hospital.
interested in doing a second one
to,
through this next academic year, if we can find sponsorship for it, because they don't have the same sponsorship at the
Preston.
university level.
state broadband.
This
I mean,
year they-
actually, it's
last
sponsored
year-
time for Rob to try to get
In
closed
total,
caption TV
he
to the
$100,000.
courts. So you're not,
So they're basically.
So you're not having
they're
the
wanting to do
interaction.
the rating on the house, but they're not.
first of all, it saved him a lot of money. Next of all, it saves him an officer being face to face with him and the exposure from another jet, So, I mean, those are things.
So I,
So
But I'm
why don't
reading
you think, start thinking about
And
those types of
LEOs.
things?
are you gonna have like a city apply for it from these guys? Are you automatically gonna divvy it up to them? And if the city doesn't spend it on what they're supposed to, are we gonna have to pay it back? Does the city have to? See, there's a lot of logistics you all gotta figure out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I say, there's still more questions than are. And hopefully it's a little, and it will get clearer day by day until they backtrack and then they change.
Change it,
And they do that all the time,
So,
unfortunately. And then you're left to deal with.
But I
You know
know.
what?
And we could put a moral road for Highway 50 down
there you go.
Okay, now how does that COVID relate?
Uh,
So emergency traffic can get there in all types of, so emergency traffic can get there in all types of weather, is that what it is,
Yeah.
Clyde?
Sounds good.
Or I could go faster and the fires won't catch me.
Yeah. Yeah. This Q and A gives a little more, so gets into funds may not be used to fill shortfalls in government revenue to cover expenditures that would not otherwise qualify under the statute. Although a broad range of uses is allowed, revenue replacement is not a permissible use of fund payments. Um, Statute also specifies that expenditures using fund payments must be necessary. The Department of Treasury understands this term broadly to mean that the expenditure is reasonably necessary for its intended use of the reasonable judgment of government officials responsible for spending fund payments.
I get it, but
But also, anything new, I can always, from here forward, I will forward the names that you can, that you guys.
Just a little broadband
Okay,
expansion, kinda
expenses
like we
associated
used
with
in
provision of
public health.
economic support in connection with the COVID-19 public health emergency, such as expenditures related to the provision of grants to small businesses to reimburse the cost of business interruption required by closures, expenditures related to state
How do you
troops,
follow
federal
that?
tribal
Because see,
government,
a lot of
payroll
people
support
cannot be on
programs,
Zoom at the same time.
the unemployment insurance costs related to COVID-19. They talked about this specifically during a hearing yesterday.
Yeah, but there were some.
So the kinds of employers that laid off people and then are going to incur higher rates of unemployment
They work
insurance,
better than well.
you could give them a subsidy basically to offset the cost of their higher unemployment insurance that happened because of the overall economic environment. That's what it is. I don't think we have very many employers that will fit into that category, but it strikes me if, yeah. It strikes me the ones that kind of fell through the cracks in the programs that were out there, were especially the hairdressers, you know, they don't have employees to count as payroll protection. They maybe didn't even get EIBL funding if they didn't have an employee. There were just a lot of employee framed definitions of what businesses were eligible for. And, I don't know.
So but basically, the only thing we need to do is the resolution you come up with.
That's just, that's the
That's the first step.
thing we need
And let
to
it
work forward.
Fall out as.
And like I said, this thing is evolving just like everything else has with this, by the seat of our pants. But I don't know how you could have been ready for it anyways. Hopefully another one this will work out in my lifetime.
There you go.
But I think that needs to evolve.
But then you take, you know, you, Carolyn mentioned about hairdressers and stuff and small businesses, but then the SBA kicks in, and if you hire those people back and keep them, and then that loan is forgiven, and
But I'm saying that if you don't have a true employee, if you're an independent, you just work as
but
a
you're still
self-employed
classified as
person.
a small business owner.
But they really framed eligibility through the lens of having employees. So if you didn't have an employee,
Just to fell through the cracks.
Most of them got
most of
tired,
them don't do it. They don't do payroll.
most of them got tired of just the process.
Exactly.
because it was
They get
just
frustrated and they quit.
cumbersome.
That's what they do.
You wouldn't be shocked at how many people are calling their representatives and senators down and their paperwork. That's insane.
Well,
They don't.
No.
I don't know if this matters, there's, for like audit purposes, if this sounds, they are not considered grants, but other financial assistance. And are funds considered federal financial assistance for the purposes of Single Audit Act? And so, yes, fund payments are considered. So, I think that the way that works, if you get a grant from the federal government of $750,000 or more, you're subject to an audit specific to the expenditures of that grant. So part of the thing is you want to allocate, and you'll
So then you
be able to
have
use
to set
this
aside
money
the audit fee.
to pay for the audit.
$6,000-7,000.
Yeah, probably not.
Since it's federal money.
Yeah. We get 750,000, and we get a discount that, and that, they're all gonna have to have their paperwork in here, because we're the ones gonna get on.
Yeah, but I think that your audit shows that you expended it to them in accordance with the
But-
act.
Won't the audit have to account for every dollar that,
You pass through you, yes, it will.
If you
But we
paid,
aren't.
so for example, if you paid Stafford Food Bank directly, you would need to be able to account for that. But I think if you give it to the city of Stafford, and they give it to the food bank, you don't necessarily have to have that.
so the city of Stafford won't have to be audited?
No.
Depends on that, these banks are just vague.
Typically,
And that's
those
why-
funds like that, they wanna know where every penny went, and if you buy a washer with it, you're gonna have to pay it back.
I'll bet you,
That's
because some of them probably aren't anything.
But your audit comes
You know,
from,
just a
yeah,
collection.
private.
A loose knit.
But we'll
No,
probably
it's
have a
not
better idea
federal
what we
government.
can and can't do next week.
Yes.
Oh, and it's gonna
It'll-
Let's see what next week
It'll
is.
it'll be an evolving.
We talked this
It's
to
gonna
death.
change too, it always does. So,
I think it'll be a whole lot less than like when you get a USDA grant and they want to show, I mean, those are the ones that are like detail oriented. They want to not only see your invoice, but see that you paid it by the proof of your bank statement, you know, things like, they don't have the manpower to audit this one to that degree.
I realize that till after it's
yeah,
done.
and then they're gonna make you audit.
But I'm saying, I don't think it'll be to that degree, you know, I mean, I think,
It's an unfunded mandate, even when they're simply.
I make a motion to accept the minutes for the June 10th meeting.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from June 10th meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Try and leave this like that.
And you want that in my stocks and stuff, green, I don't want to.
I had trouble finding anything in that. You find Dave shut me off after 3 loads of 15.
Aren't some of them cutting around here? though?
Yeah.
Yeah, ours is cut. They were cutting over.
Really?
Yeah. And bale. Strong's bale.
I
Yeah.
don't believe they did.
Pardon me?
What they did yesterday.
Night before last.
This is the county treasurer's budget.
When did they? That makes a little difference. When you got that rain coming down the bottom.
But then they're just between,
What?
You just look this.
well, east of Larry, I think it's Fisher's Ground now. It's in the same section we're in, they're in the northwest corner, they were cutting last night.
It's got more than
Well,
You guys don't need anything else, do you?
Nope.
No. Okay.
just take a trip east, Bill.
You know, with your,
Need more gravel on the road, north of my house.
North of your house, so you don't get stuck.
Yesterday, the kid was spinning it off the road and turned over the big lip. I didn't even stop.
Yeah.
Go up there and see the tracks. It's insane. Next time he says something, I'll say, well, if you don't spin it all off the road, maybe it'll be there.
Well, they'll get tired of driving over it.
Yeah.
This is the treasurer's department budget. So increase that $100. Looks like they really don't know.
Well, there's no way.
So you increase,
$600, right?
so from 191.4 to 191.3.
All right.
I said I didn't know. And Mary is home, she's doing good, I guess.
Good.
I'm not sure when she'll get back.
Well, that's just good.
She doesn't have to have radiation or chemo, and they got it all, and she doesn't even have to do rehab like they want. She would.
put on the turn on the budget?
They get a 1 mil by charter resolution.
So that's what they get.
Family services for the elderly was done by charter resolution years ago. Up to 1 mil. Yeah.
It's been that way. People don't understand it. That's, you have no control of that.
Melissa will be here next week, and I talked to her if we would go through the requests that we have, and you guys tell me what you want to take off, I can email these up to her, she can have you a rough draft by next Wednesday. I know we haven't had the hospital in or SDSI, but what she said she would do would be to try to plug the numbers in from last year.
And
Obviously, one of those two is gonna have to take a hit, but, 'cause we got a 500,000 somewhere.
On the treasurer's office, I mean, running the DOT, doesn't that usually generate
It goes in motor vehicle.
80 or 90,000 a year? Where does motor vehicle get spent?
Oh, she spends it on, part of her salaries comes out of motor vehicle, and like her office, remodel came out of there. Sometimes she'll pull office expenses, office supplies, meetings. I don't
So
think
she doesn't just kick that over into the county general?
they're supposed to, but typically they don't.
And so there's probably a surplus built up in that road fund?
There's 211,000 in there right now.
In the past, haven't we always just turned them in as they were to Melissa, and she ran them, and then we went from there?
But we're
That's-
usually not having to cut 500,000 out of the
Exactly.
budget. And I don't like it where some departments are taking good cuts and other departments are going, no, we can't, that we can't.
So-
But we still have time to do that.
I'd like to make some of our cuts today.
And that's totally up to you.
I don't know, you'd have a better idea where you're standing. And what, exactly how much we gotta get off if you run the numbers first.
So if we turn it in and we're at where we need to be, then the guys that voluntarily took
You can
$200,000.
still change it.
Yeah, we won't.
Obviously, we're gonna have to make some more cuts.
Yeah, it's not gonna come out where you want it.
No,
So can we talk about where we'd like to make cuts?
that's, it's up to
Yeah, I
you
don't
guys, it's
care.
your budget. I
I mean,
mean,
I think everybody would take a 5.2% cut.
so I can put some more back in mine.
Yeah, I don't know. How do we do that?
Well, I mean,
Do you think it's fair that Mary's got 210 in her slush fund and takes a $100 cut?
I would rather go through it.
Like, you know, each individual? Yep.
I really would.
And, let's see,
Because I think some of them have cut over
we've got
years,
3 that have.
and some of them haven't.
oh, we need historical, we need, the SDSI and the hospital are the three we're waiting on. But they are outside entities. I mean, in my world, we need to worry about these. We gotta keep the county functioning. And that's gonna be a difficult job. So,
You know, on Mary's deal, a 5.2% cut would be basically $9,947.
and she can pull most of that out of her salary line item.
And I mean, I don't have, I mean, I'd just say it ought to take a $2,000 cut.
She cuts his budget.
I'm just saying, I'm waiting for rebuttal. My opinion is we'd cut 10,000 out of there.
Well, I
And we can do it this meeting, or we can do it in a month. It don't matter.
I'd still like to see the numbers and,
Just
but I do, just as it was
as
presented,
presented,
like we've always done it, and then go through them all individually at the same time, and not leave anybody out. I mean, you know, look at each one of them.
You want to hear, talk about hearing a caricature on the county commissioner's budget. You know, I thought about we ought to take some off of the meeting and travel expense, but if we do go to the meetings, I mean, there's some things that we need to go to. I propose that we take 1 month of that pay.
Really? You really think that, do you?
Yeah.
I thought you wanted an increase.
I do on a normal basis, but I mean, how can the commissioners tell everybody they need to take a cut and that we can't? You know what I mean?
Again, it's your budget. You, I don't know.
So at what point do you guys want to talk about this?
When will we have hospital and all that?
Hospital's coming next week. No, hospital's coming July 1st.
July 1st.
I think it's gonna see them all.
I want to go ahead and send these to Melissa
You can
today.
send what you got.
And I'm going to tell her, plug in
Like
SDSI
feeling.
from last year and hospital from last year. Obviously, probably not going to happen
Increase
for the
5,000.
hospital.
Pardon?
I mean, come on.
They're gonna get it. That's what we're talking about. That's why I think we need to treat them all individually.
That's the district court.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we
yes,
can-
because
we can tell
some
them
departments
what
have
they
already
want, but,
cut
I mean,
to
if
the
they
point they can't
overspend,
cut
you know,
anymore.
if
And
they
then there's
overspend,
some budgets that have
We're gonna pay it.
some excess.
Same with the sheriff's office.
So,
I think we all need to be looked at individually.
But you know, they've asked for that.
More so than we have in
Kinda
the
kept
past.
them on the line. If we can, I would like next week's meeting to be as short as we can because of the roast.
I've got
It's gonna be raining all
SDSI coming in at 10. He comes from Garden City.
Yeah.
You can leave anytime, because he's just gonna tell you he wants 31,000 and we'll give him 20,000.
SDSI, what is that?
That's the development disability for the adult side.
Okay.
So,
But I think every department needs to take that, and we have to view it. Which I guess whenever,
do you want me to relay that to the departments? Or, I need to know what you guys want me to do. Is what I'm saying.
so do you want to talk about it today, Kurt, or you just send them in and see where we're at?
I would rather just sit and see where we're at, talk about it.
So if
Think
we,
about it and talk about it.
if we come back and we've cut the 500,000
Well, we
out,
can make three
then the
cuts.
people that took voluntary cuts, will increase them, and the ones that didn't, will take some off them to
No.
make it fair.
No. I mean, if you have voluntary reduction, then that's, you want to go back and say, okay, we're going to give you 2% more.
So
The
then
problem with
next
trying to
time,
do it across the board probably is that some of these departments have cut already to the point they're,
I'm saying that's a guideline. I understand there's some
Yeah.
things that we can't do. But it's just aggravating when everybody knows we need to cut, and we've got a few, and we have one in here that is actually a salary increase, because last year they had an extra employee for 4 months, and so it was a rise, and now they're saying that they took a cut, but it's still a salary increase. But we
Well-
can discuss that later, I guess.
exactly.
All right,
If she could just do the first draft, just to give you an idea of where you're set, and then you could go through them. One by one.
Didn't we go through it 3 times last year?
Yes, and you guys need to. I mean,
Yeah.
that's part of the process. Like every year, they would just understand the first one to go on. Well, we can't do that anymore. We've got to get down to the fine print here.
The year that we cut it
Because next year's gonna be bad.
13%, that was probably just across the board.
It was.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that was very
So,
smart.
you said next year's gonna be bad.
well, 500,000 out of the budget is gonna get everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what we're cutting out this year, isn't
It's for 2021 budget.
it? So we're cutting 500,000 this year and
No,
500,000
five
next
hundred
year?
thousand out of 2020. This budget's already set. We're already running on 2020 budget.
Yeah, the
We're working
budget.
on 2021
Yeah,
budget.
so we're working on the budget
Next
now
year.
that we have to do
For next
500,000.
Yeah.
So are you saying that next year when we're doing this
We
time
don't
next
know,
year?
we don't know what the valuation's gonna be for
Yeah.
2022 yet.
Hopefully.
But when you say
We hope the
next year it's
oil
gonna be
price-
really bad,
Well, I
we're
meant
working on next
2021.
year right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully 2022 will be better, because on oil.
Yep.
That's why I contend, can we use part of this money to subsidize the county budget since the oil price get cut because of COVID?
Sure.
Think about it.
Sure.
But they're gonna say no on that one, so anyway.
What's in our mortgage registration fee deal that we got back?
She does from Luann,
No, state. We have not touched.
oh, oil and gas.
Oil and gas.
You
I don't
touched
think
it. You,
we have
you've used a
dip
little
into
bit
that.
of it.
We did use that? I didn't think we
Pay
touched
for
it.
that building out there, part of the building. Yeah, I can remember we stuck that in.
Is it 20?
You've got 1.2 million.
Which I just assume make cuts instead of doing the right.
I would,
But we've never used it. Most counties, it's not there.
yeah, most counties
Yeah,
are.
Most counties, it's gone.
It's just gone the
But I
next
mean, we
day.
might be facing a lot bigger dilemma than this if the water board comes in and cuts all the, this is gonna look small without.
Has there been any progress on that?
Not that I know of.
Well, let's see. This is the middle of June. You got until the 20th of September.
You're preaching to the choir.
But the thing is, hopefully, we don't have more coronavirus deals like we did this year.
Yeah. But we would've took a hit on our oil, whether there's coronavirus or not. Because I mean,
I
it
don't
was
know if
mainly
it'd
between
been
It won't be
some,
that big.
I don't think it would have been that big, do you?
No.
I mean, I thought
Very
between
quantified.
oil and Russia. Of course, then with the coronavirus.
It would
we're
have taken
talking
a small hit regardless, but maybe not half.
I don't know that it would have been a big enough hit that the state would have done what they did to us.
Because right now, the state's got us at 23 and the oil price is 38 today, so we're even below.
They always pick the lowest possible prices.
Yeah, they changed that
cut
price
it in
like
half.
2 weeks.
They cut it in half
After
from what
they
they originally
established
said.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks when it went down, then they cut the average in half for the whole year.
That's why I don't think, well, guessing, we can't just totally forget about it. It is there. If we're gonna cripple some budget, we don't need to do that. Because it's gonna cause you problems down the line.
Yeah.
Cripple somebody.
But you know, when you talk about crippling budgets, and then you look at the carryover, and fire's got 300,000, and
And we do have a lot built up in our insurance reserve fund too, so we could,
I would be in favor of doing that.
I would just soon keep that also. I mean, because we're all getting old, except for Rob. So, okay, so you want me to email these to her as is,
Yep,
and we'll go from there?
yep.
Is that
I think it'll still tell you
the
a lot,
consensus?
what you need to do.
But she will be here at 9 o'clock next week with the audit, and she's gonna discuss the budget.
So
Good
we're
to
set.
hear
We're
from her
set
before
pretty
we
good
get
on the budget.
This year's budget?
This year's budget.
Yes, yes.
I think it'd be good to hear from her before we do it.
And we had a good audit, so,
You know, the bad deal about people taking voluntary cuts and people not, then if we get to what we need, or if we get to the point that we need to be at, and we don't change any of that, then next time we have a decrease, there ain't nobody gonna take a voluntary cut. And then we gotta go in there and say, well, you can afford to lose this, where the guys that took voluntary cuts knows their departments. That's just my opinion.
If you want to cut, I'd rather you let me make my own cuts, so I know where it needs to come out of myself.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because we know our own budgets better than
But if we told
Melissa
you that,
does.
If you're gonna do that, I would call the department and say, Rob, here's your budget, we need
Yeah.
to cut.
Yeah. And
X amount
I'm just
out of it.
saying, because
And he takes-
I'm one of those that did not make cut because I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so much of mine that's
Doesn't.
unknown, I don't know.
But you know, if you make a cut and then you run over your budget, we pay your expenses.
I know, but I should,
We did
that
for
I try to
years
stay
and years.
within it.
Yeah.
The sheriff ran
Sheriff
over
used to be
forever.
over every.
And we
I know.
finally got them to budget what they thought they needed, which is where we need to be.
But if Rob cut his budget and then went over his budget and then we were in a shortfall, I would be all right with taking that money out of the road. Or the gas deal reserve then.
I would rather
Are
they
you
just
saying
try
we can't do that?
We just gotta make it as accurate as we can to start
We
off
do.
with.
Yeah.
That's what,
Exactly.
Well,
for
in
years, we
a,
didn't do that.
in a perfect world, you submit your budget and spend it, and there's no carryover.
Yeah. I was on the township board, you know, where we would prepay gravel,
Yeah.
prepay diesel, this, that, so that we spent our whole budget.
But the problem lies in the fact it's just the best guess, and it is kind of ridiculous to have, you know, have a surplus, well, let's just put it in capital improvement or something.
But again, we're estimating what we're
If
gonna
we
spend
had-
next year. We don't know.
If we had this crystal ball and say,
It'd be
okay,
something different than
we're gonna
coronavirus.
spend.
Exactly. Or,
And at the end of the year, you've got 10 cents left in your budget. Well,
When do
I'm
we have
just
to
saying,
have, when does this have to all be finalized?
we really like for the budget to be a done deal by the middle of July. So we can get it published, have the hearing, and be done by August 25th.
have a-
So we got a little less than a month? So we
Yeah.
turn it in to Melissa now, this way that we know we're gonna make her
She's
buy.
gonna start the process, and mid-July is what we shoot for.
Yeah.
It gives us a few weeks if we don't make it, because we have to publish, we're gonna have the hearing, and then we have to, 10 days later, have the hearing, and always be done by August 25th.
You just need to be done there,
Yes.
at least August
Unless
1st.
you're certain counties, and you can do them in November. They'll get started.
That by statute has to be submitted to the
August
state by
1st,
the
you need to know what you're doing.
No, it has to be submitted to me by August 25th.
You know, I have
And then
worked on,
anytime it goes,
I don't submit them to the state till after the final levies are done, which is October-ish, November.
We've always been.
I mean, I always know that the first time, we always just say, let's turn it on, but, that's fine.
It's up to you guys. If you want to sit and go through these today,
Yeah.
it's perfectly fine.
I wanna see where we're at, even talk to Melissa a little bit. But we ought to study and know what we're gonna do.
it would be nice to get money from the Fed, so set the price of it.
But we'll have this budget all done before that's determined, right?
It won't be determined by August 25th or whatever. It's just they're gonna drag this thing out for.
They'll change it 100 times.
And they'll change their minds, and they'll put this in, and they'll take that out, and it'll be a nightmare.
Because it's,
They're not just gonna hand you 800,000.
They're having enough trouble with all the payments they're sending out, they still haven't got that from
No,
her.
and they're probably getting reimbursed for all of their,
it's just a game, it's a joke.
anything else, no vouchers.
Oh, next week.
We thought,
We need to.
you guys have anything else?
That's it.
Okay, we'll adjourn.